Coming up in recent news, if you've ever shopped online, you want to hear this next story of a pastor who purchased the computer from hell.
I was in a gospel group and we made a couple little A-B side records, you know, but this is when I'm like 13, 14.
Right.
But the dude that recorded us was the lady's nephew. Let me just tell you how God works.
Okay.
I ended up, he lived right off of Fordham Road. After my classes, which I was, you know, I gotta go because I got the scholarship, I would always go to the dude's house. I used to get whoopings for sneaking out the window to go to this studio in the Bronx before I was of age to really be doing it. So I really knew how to record myself, like I said, produce myself, stack my vocals, because he taught me how to use that little Tascam thing.
Right.
So Tyrone, tell me, what happened and what were you doing?
I was in the middle of putting together a development, a community center for the bewildered saints in the Bronx. They had just lost their property of over 50 years on 125th Street through a banking scam. Actually, it was behind the first bank that New York City had closed down from the 2008 crash. I had just put out a song that had made top 10 on Billboard. I had just merged with Thomas Zoomer, the famous model agent. I just did another merger with a production company for building the Hip Hop Hall of Fame Museum. So I was quite active. Amazon says that they have an online policy. When you buy from them online, new means as is.
And so with all of this involvement with the government, what would you like Congress to do?
So they need oversight mechanisms to protect unwitting consumers who are sold these devices with these tracking in them, you know, with surveillance in them, you know, connected to whatever. This is something that should concern all of us as consumers, as online consumers, as shoppers.
And so with this experience, would you recommend consumers going directly to the source? So for example, shopping directly with Apple instead of going through a third party like Amazon?
Amazon is a reseller, so I guess that there is room for blue collar sabotage, espionage, I don't know.
So would you say that you love Apple as a company?
So I've started these Apple incubators, if you will, in about 5 in Atlanta and about 3 or 4 in New York. So these two companies are the two companies that I rely on the most. So for this to happen, and for me to have to, like I said, I initially wrote Tim and Jeff before I even went to federal court. I said, hey guys, this happened. Let's find out what happened, fix it, you know, let me get back to life. You guys get back to making whatever you do. It didn't happen that way. They just, you know, they didn't care.
Would you say that this has affected your life?
Oh, absolutely. It's affected me financially, mentally, physically, psychologically. I mean, could you imagine you wake up one morning and some cop's telling you, come turn yourself in to do 4 years in prison?
So does this make you think that certain companies are above the law?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a clear violation of United States Code 793, which is if you lose a national security device, no matter what the excuse is, if you lost it, you lost it. You know, you have to be held liable. So my understanding now is that those sensitive devices, they shouldn't be delivered through FedEx or UPS. You deliver them through a special service, a security pouch. You know, something like that, not in a regular stream of commerce where innocent consumers can get caught up, in the crossfire. I mean, come on.
And so what do you think about the rule of law? How do you think things should be changed?
The law works for you if you're rich, if you're well off, or you're well connected. That's it.
So what do you think should be done to try and improve the rule of law so that it is beneficial to everybody?
How about holding companies accountable? I mean, come on. You lost a computer that was meant to spy on a country with a regular guy. I'm just a regular schmogo. I'm just a regular guy. And at least hold them accountable as to where, number one, we found out what happened, so this doesn't happen again. But it's one artist just came out with a new project. It's all corrupt. It's true. It's all corrupt. It's all corrupt from the bottom to the top. And to know that at 51, the majority of people, of politicians, when they get in these positions, they just hook up their friends and family. It's no more the community, the constituents. It's who they know. What are they going to get out of it? And that makes me sad to know that there is no real people looking out for the betterment of a community of people. You know, they come to our churches year after year or election time in our pulpits and preach, you know, say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this for your community, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Heck, I'm on 125th Street. Do you know how famous 125th Street is?
Yes.
Okay, we've been there almost as long as the Apollo Theater.
Wow.
But when it came time for some outsider, for some foreign company, some bank to steal our church, they let them steal over $1 billion of real estate from my parents. Over $1 billion. And this happened while I was in the middle of getting them off the street and getting them to their new home in the Bronx. I'm not going to stop helping people. I'm not going to give up on society. I'm not going to give up on these politicians. I'm not going to give up on the rule of law. And hopefully, at some point, someone with some power is going to, you know, change the narrative. You know, protect the consumers. That's it.
Well, thank you very much, Tyrone. I think that you have definitely brought some positivity, and you yourself are going to make so much change and help your community. So thank you very much for being with us today and for sharing your story. And hopefully, all together, we can help make this world a better place.